Yo, Peoria, what's good, man? Mark Supreme, Rap Politics, what you tuning into on PJ Star, man. It goes without saying, make sure you hit that subscribe link. Make sure y'all follow the PJ Star on the Facebook and on the Instagram of Bulls. And you already know, man, we brought to you by Sherman's, where they carry the best in furniture, mattresses, and appliances. And if you're looking for a job, I just said it a million times, they hiring. One of the few places that don't care about your education, don't care about how many degrees you got. All they care about is people that work hard, and they recognize people that want to get ahead, and they promote people within. You can check out the openings at shermanscareers.com, and you can apply online. And of course, we're also brought to you by Terry Shepard, a real estate consultant whose values are rooted in customer care and service. She can help you find your next crib, and I work with her too, and she can negotiate your next deal and get you into a home that fits. She with Remax Traders Unlimited, and she can be reached at 309-361-4592. And you know what this weekend is, man. Sophisticated Ratchet, Art Affair, everything that you like about the Art Affair. But of course, we're going to get a little, you know what I'm saying? We got the fashion show coming through. We got the music, the ceramics, the aerial arts, Lil Drake in the background. Got the Migos. The Via going to do her thing as well, too. So y'all want to miss that. Tickets still on sale. $10 holla. You know what I'm talking about? $10 holla. VIP is all sold up, but you can go to Eventbrite and make sure y'all get y'all tickets right there. Now, look, man. It's NBA week. It's NBA week. I told y'all we got a lot of stuff lined up. But you already know what happened before, though. So Facebook had an outage on Monday, knocked out about 6 hours worth of post time, comment time, streaming time, and everything else. And everybody was all messed up. But look, I've been saying this from the get-go. Facebook been acting funny like the last couple weeks. I ain't gonna cap. Facebook and Instagram been acting a little funny last couple weeks. People that usually get the likes and the follows and everything else, they wasn't getting them. So I've been said it. That's why I've been said too. It's all about the algorithm. If you ain't getting that post, like that post interaction, that post love that you used to, it's all in the algorithm. So what happened Monday though is everybody was saying it was a hack. It wasn't a hack. Actually, according to NPR, they said an update to Facebook's routers that coordinate network traffic went wrong, sending in a wave of disruptions, rippling through its systems and all that stuff. And Facebook just basically was down. Not only that, Facebook lost millions. According to NPR, Mark Zuckerberg lost billions, lost about $7 billion. But I don't care about none of that. What they did was they interrupted my interview with y'all, with David Booth, Vice President of Basketball Operations, to kick off NBA week. Facebook messed it up. So what we going to do, you know we're going to run it back. We're going to run that back. But you know we got a guest today. You know what I'm saying? You know I can't do it together. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to run that back. Don't even trip. But that's what happened on that tip. And look, I knew Facebook and Instagram and social media in general was messing up. It wasn't just Facebook and Instagram. Twitter was tweaking too. Let me tell you how I know. And this is what I tried to post, but it didn't let me post it. That's how I know it's tweaking. Meek Mill, I don't know if y'all can see this. Meek Mill, who just dropped his album, tweeted about his album with a 3-day-old timestamp. Said he posted it 3 days ago. Fam got one retweet. That's how I knew it was all messed up. One retweet from Meek Mill, who just dropped the album. I've been knew it was messed up. So look, like I said before, man, everything's still kind of weird. That's why, look, if your Facebook don't get the love like you used to, man, this algorithm, everything all messed up. Some of y'all was out here bad, though, like didn't know what to scroll. Some of y'all reading the newspaper. Hopefully y'all was reading the Journal Star. But look, it just is what it is. And speaking of Meek Mill, he just dropped his album. Expensive Pain just dropped this last Friday. It's supposed to run right behind CLB. And actually, Taylor Swift's supposed to be outpacing both of those albums. I ain't got through all of Meek Mill album yet. But I did get through a couple of songs. Dude, rapping. Like he rapping. But some people saying that he up for album of the year next to, J. Cole's and the Dondas and the CLBs. Some people saying it's like that. But word to Dre Miranda, man, shout out to the homie. He said he rapping, but he ain't talking about no thing at all. I don't know. I only got like 3-4 tracks. You know what I'm saying? Dre said it ain't it. I don't know. I gotta see myself. But the album did drop. We're gonna see how he do. But I'm still waiting on Kendrick myself to really, be able to gauge who we gonna give album of the year to. Some people even saying it's Tyler the Creator with that with his latest album, Call Me When You Get Lost. But I mean, I don't know. I'm still liking J. Cole. CLB, I got into it a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? I got into a little bit more, but I'm still listening to Donda more. I don't know. I ain't saying that Donda better than CLB. I'm just saying I've been listening to Donda more. So I mean, it is what it is. That's just how I feel about it, man. That's just how I feel about it. All right. Shout out to the people that's already tapping in. We got people. Oh, the string art. Okay. Taryn talking about the string art. She making jokes though. What else, Shutter? Karen. Okay. All right. People up in here. All right. So look, my next guest for NBA week. Like I said, we're gonna run the Monday back, but my next guest for NBA week don't need no type of intro. Don't need no type of accolades on the front end. I know him. You know him. Peoria know him. State of Illinois know him. United States know him. You know what I'm saying? They know him. So I'm finna just bring him on, man. We got the homie, the hometown hero, Shaun Livingston in the building. Shaun Liv was good.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Man, thank you for coming on, man. How you been?
Oh, blessed. Woke up another day, man, so no complaints.
Most def. Okay, so look, you basketball player, what else? We got basketball player, NBA champ. You done did a whole lot of stuff, but the titles and all that, that's kind of, it's still current, but it's kind of the past. Who is Shaun Livingston now?
Man, that's a great question. Great question. Father, husband, obviously I'm working, not doing what I was doing, playing in front of a lot more eyeballs, but mentor, that's a big part of the job. So, and then just searching for growth every day, man, every day.
So your latest title, you just got it not too long ago, within the last year or so, and Director of Player and Player Affairs and Engagement. What do that mean?
It's a mouthful. It's a mouthful.
What you doing?
So like I said, it's more along the lines of mentorship, with a lot of the rookies. So just to put it in context, drafted out of high school, story is kind of out there. Came in the league at a young age, 18, 19, a lot of responsibility, the whole world kind of coming at you. And so, we have some young guys on our team that are 18, 19, 20. So just being able to talk to them about, just the roller coaster of the league and, the lifestyle and what it takes to be a professional, at this stage. So I would say, that's the majority of it, as well as, being a connection point between, players, coaches, and front office. I mean, technically my job is, with the front office, so I do a little bit of scouting as well, kind of more the corporate lifestyle, more of a corporate thug now. But it's learning on the fly, though. It's learning on the fly.
So, like you mentioned, man, came out of high school super young. You know what I'm saying? Didn't even have all this going yet. You know what I mean? And you was put in front of the world, giving millions, being able to hoop, doing what you love. What is some of that wisdom that you impart on some of the younger folks, or some of the things that come to mind when you trying to mentor and trying to help, not rear, but help guide the younger players and the newer players?
I think the biggest piece of advice is just, obviously you got to work hard. We all know, what it takes as far as the work ethic. Guys are extremely talented, but, I would say the majority of it is, being curious, like, right. It's like, no matter what age we are, we can always learn. Like, I'm still learning. I'm a rookie again, as far as in my role, in the front office and with staff and just, learning the job. So, a lot of the times people say, "Oh man, you made it, like you made it. We out, we made it." When really the journey is just beginning. It's just beginning for a lot of these young guys, and being so young and having the type of influence that these guys have. I mean, you could argue athletes and more specifically, basketball, NBA athletes, are some of the most, visible, people in the world. right? Definitely in the United States and a part of the culture. So it's just, it's just a lot that comes with it. And, it's just really making sure that, these guys are just open to learning, open to being a student, asking questions. I mean, we got a couple, Hall of Famers on our team, for sure. They going down, and it's like, be a sponge, right? Be a sponge and soak up some of that knowledge, because, they may be in that position one day, if they work at it and keep their eyes open.
Is there anything you say, whatever you do, don't do this? It gotta
Man, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, obviously, the lifestyle is fast, right? And I think social media has really opened up, the lifestyle, right, to a lot of different people. But nothing specifically, man, that I could probably tell you on camera. It's just more of just trying to keep them level and align themselves around the right people. Just trust the right people. Yeah, definitely.
So what was being on staff or an executive in NBA, was that always the logical next step for you as you thought about, the back end of your playing days?
I think it was. I mean, you look at it, for me, it just seems like a seamless fit, because I played on 10 different NBA teams. So that's, 9 to 10 different teams. That's 9, 10 different cities, organizations. I've been waived. I've been a bench player. I've been, a rotation player. I've been a starter, so I fluctuated throughout the NBA, and so just I got a chance to see a lot about what it takes, but probably more importantly, not what to do, but what not to do, right? And so just, seeing that, I'm like, oh, okay, I could be a GM maybe one day. I could do this, just being in all the different locker rooms and seeing how, how this, how a team is kind of put together. So
last time we spoke on record, it was April-ish 2019, or a little after, I can't remember. Y'all was about to head into the playoffs. You go to lose to Toronto in the finals. You retire later on that year. How hard was it to let the game go?
Man, I mean, that was one of the hardest decisions of my life, for sure. It was difficult from a standpoint of, just walking away. Like it could feel like a death. And that's, and I say that from a standpoint of, I don't take death lightly, right? But it's just an analogy of like, this is a game that the ball I picked up at, I was 4 years old. So I've been playing it my whole life. I'm a real hooper, man. Like getting on bikes, riding down to Carver, Proctor, like, just really, really hooping, playing on, other people's, our neighbors' baskets, they yelling at us, get out the driveway. Like, man, I'm, shoveling snow to dribble the basketball. Like, so, the game, it means a lot to me. Right. And it was also a part of my identity. Right. I mean, you say, if you say the name Shaun Livingston, instantly you probably think basketball, right? Like, NBA or whatever it is. So for me, that situation or that transition was, it was difficult. And again, I think the biggest thing is just, evolving, right? It's just getting to a place to where you can evolve and grow, outside of what, you thought you could be, what, everybody kind of puts you in this box of who you are, and that's it. Your life is over, right? And so that was the death part that I'm talking about, where it's like, no, it's just now it's about recreating myself and finding other skills, acquiring other skills, learning, growing. The handwriting was on the wall, but at the same time, nonetheless, it was still tough.
Well, because I remember going through an airport. Where was I leaving? Boston? I was leaving somewhere, and it was talking about you on ESPN. I was going through the airport, and it wasn't long before you retired. I think you had 1 year left, I think. And I remember going through the airport and listening to ESPN. I forgot who was talking, but it was like, Shaun got some options. It's like, Shaun got a ton of different options. He can still be out here and woo woo. I remember that. was it kind of like you said the writing was on the wall, but did you feel like you had a different option or what?
I wouldn't say a ton of options, but
That's what, you know,
yeah. No. It sounds good. I mean, I want to believe it too, but you know, I definitely had some playing options. I did. I had playing options. They weren't as attractive, of options that I wanted at that stage in my career. The way I kind of saw it was, at the stage that I was at, I had already done a ton of traveling, right? As far as being a journeyman throughout the league and really playing and grinding my way back, from the D League, to the bottom feeder teams, right? Working my way up to Golden State, right? Most people was like, oh man, this is Shaun Livingston. No, I've been in the league 10 plus years before I got here. So now, having to start over and possibly try out for a team or, working my way into that wasn't really attractive to me at that stage. I just came out of 5 straight NBA finals. And, so it was really trying to, play in a situation that, that made a lot of sense. And those options weren't really out there. So, that factored in.
I've interviewed you a couple of times before, and you never ever really seemed like one for regrets. But is there anything that you look back on and be like, maybe I'd have did it different?
No, I don't. That's a good question. I don't like to live my life that way, to be honest with you. And that a lot of that started, my perspective around that started with my injury, getting injured and, obviously facing the music, right? You gotta move forward with it. I mean, I probably could have shot a few more threes, and mixed that into the arsenal. But, at the end of the day, my game was my game, and, I stood on that. So I think, looking back, like I'm pretty happy how things turned out.
Real quick, I got to ask you this too. Before I talked to you before on record, and someone's like, man, you should have asked, and I didn't even think about this. But people in Peoria saw a different version of Shaun Livingston than people did watching the NBA. They saw behind the neck passes. They saw, you know what I'm saying, people just falling on the floor. How did was it the knee injury? Was it just like the different playing style going into those different teams where that just wasn't a part of your game no more?
Absolutely, 100%. That was, I mean, it's funny, like, Daniel Ruffin, the coach of Central, that's my boy. And, we watching me play. It's like, man, his game, his game ain't really changed. He still play the same, which is true, I think. But the injury for me was, it just slowed, it slowed me down, obviously, right? And so I wasn't playing at a faster clip, as I was when, before my injury, so I was able to push the brake, get up and down, and really make some things happen based upon, really like my velocity, really, moving, and when I lost that burst, I lost that step, it was like, okay, what else, where am I at? What else I got? Okay, I'm still 6'7", that ain't going nowhere. I'm still tall. I still can handle it a little bit. I'm still, that size. I got the vision. Okay, boom. Okay, so how can I redirect my game, and refine it to be effective? And for me, it was just like, all right, just let me be good in my role. Let me make sure that when I get out on the court, coach, he can depend on these things. Consistency is probably the hardest. That's the hardest thing to do, in the league at any level. It's just to be consistent every day. You're the same, same person. That's difficult. We humans, we get up and down. So for me, it was just, okay, let me just be let me be dependable. Let me get to my spots. Let me make sure, I'm giving maximum effort on defense, or making the right plays, or boxing out little intangible things that, the coaches see that win basketball games, but obviously They ain't showing up on ESPN,
Right.
And I think before the injury, it was, it was more ESPN related, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Growing up, obviously the dream is to go to the NBA. You get to the NBA, then the dream becomes winning the championship. What's the dream now?
Man, definitely, watch my kids grow, and see them evolve, into productive, just decent, human beings. and then I think from there it's just, I'm still refining that. I think I'm still refining that, just figuring out. I'm in this weird place right now with just figuring out, okay, is this lane where I want to be, right? And do I want to put all of my eggs in one basket? But whatever it is, I think it's just, being able to share these experiences with the people I love. I think that ultimately that's what it comes down to. Winning championships was great. That was amazing. But the real juice was sharing that, sharing that with the city, sharing that with Peoria, sharing that with my family, sharing that with my kids and my loved ones and people that invested, energy into me. And as long as I can do that, I'm living the dream.
Most dope. So you still mad young though, bro. Like it's a lot of people getting started right now. You know what I mean? As far as like just you already accomplished, bag is already there. You suitcased up at this point, right? But you could almost still ask somebody like you, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? You kind of alluded to it earlier. Is it coaching? Is it GM or what?
Yeah, I think that's to be seen. I think that's to be seen. But a good mentor of mine, he brought up something that was interesting to me, and I don't know if this will happen one day, but he's like, if you can get to the point to where people forgot you play basketball, then I think like that's something to shoot for. And I thought about that, and it was kind of like almost felt like an insult, like, damn, I wasn't even that good, like like, oh, I thought I was cold. Yeah, but it was more about. I think it was more about off the court, right? Like everything that I'm trying to do, I've tried to do, and I'm still striving for, as far as investing in people, like investing in people, investing in the community, investing in the kids, into youth, right? Being a mentor, giving back, trying to really, lock in on those aspects of my life. I think because one, it brings me the most joy, and two, I think when we invest in people, like that's our most valuable asset. It's like, it's like, man, it's like that bears the you can't even quantify that type of return, right? It's like, man, that's the beautiful thing about being a parent. You put all that work into your kids, you watch them grow up. So it's like doing that with multiple, amounts of people. It's like, I think that's the goal.
Well, they ain't forgot that you played just yet. I was looking at an article on Clutch Points, and they put out an article talking about 5 players dubbed the next Magic Johnson. And this article came out like 4 or 5 days ago. And of course, you was in there. How do you feel about your legacy with the game that you left, and as you move forward?
Yeah, I mean, man, like I said, man, I've lived, I breathed basketball. Everybody that knows me growing up, like that was, I put a lot into it, and I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful for everything, the opportunity that I had. I mean, you gotta look at it. You from Peoria, so it's like, man, it's a lot of guys that didn't get that opportunity,
Right.
for real.
Most.
And I mean, yeah, so just being in this position, it's like I always just try to keep that same perspective. Like, you know what? I got to stay humble. I got to stay grateful. Obviously, want to be ambitious. Want to work and strive for things. But I feel good about what I was able to accomplish. Could I accomplish more? Possibly, right? But
3 championships. I don't know, man. I mean,
yeah. I mean, look, man.
3 for 5 ain't bad.
Hey, they come with, it would, hey, listen, I think most players, you want to be the best player you can be, right? We all want to be Michael Jordan, obviously LeBron, Steph, all these great names. I mean, it's attractive. But I think the key is, be your best self, right? Like for me, it's like, okay, I can't keep comparing myself to the next man, because that's ultimately not going to bring me that joy that I'm talking about. It's like, I got to keep working on being the best me. And if I can do that, everything else going to take care of itself.
You brought up Steph Curry. We're going to get the audience questions and lightning round in a second, but you brought up Steph Curry. Now that you are in more of a staff executive role, no longer a player, how's that dynamic changed in the locker room when you walk in the locker room, you see Steph, you see Draymond, and they getting dressed and you not?
Yeah, great question. First year, weird. That was definitely how I put it. Weird. Just, again, it was weird. I think the regular season, I did not have that same gusto. You know, it was like I didn't have that same feel. And also last year was COVID year, so no fans in the building, right? So, you know, it didn't hit me as hard until the playoffs rolled around. And we had a playing game. We didn't make the playoffs last year, but we had a couple playing games that they did with this new format. And I'm driving to the game, and I'm like, man, my hands starting to sweat. Like, you know, I'm starting to, you know, I'm feeling like, you know, because it's a big game. We are getting ready, and it's like, you know, and these are the type of, you know, as a competitor, these are the type of games you want to be in, you know, like everybody watching, everybody, you know, what's going on, the playoffs, right? Like for me as a player, it was like, if I could just, after my injury, if I could just get to the playoffs, like that's what I want to experience, because that's the, you know, that's the highest level of basketball. So I would say last year it was weird. It was different. You know, now this year, you know, seeing my boy Andre Iguodala back in the fold, you know, obviously brings up some of those old emotions as well. You know, but you know, each day it's going by, the transition's getting smoother.
You alluded to this earlier. And Chance the Rapper on a song called Everything with G Herbo, he has a bar where he said, Shaun Livingston, you done been on every team. Obviously, you won 3 chips with Warriors. You still there, so I'm gonna just assume that's your favorite. What would you say is the runner-up, the second best situation you were in?
You said the second best situation I was in?
Yeah.
Man, you know, honestly, the most fun I had, outside of, you know, playing with my brothers in Golden State, definitely, you know, Brooklyn. You know, before I got there, you know, just some of the guys I got a chance to play with, Hall of Famers, you know, Garnett, Pierce, Joe Johnson, Darren Williams, like, you know, man, just, you know, it just made me fall in love with the game. It felt like an AAU team as well, you know, just a bunch of real brothers on the team that, you know, just bonded and vibed, and, you know, some soldiers who you can really get in the trenches with. And, you know, definitely had, you know, probably my best run with them. And then, you know, Clippers teams before I got injured too was fun.
All right, we're going to do 2 questions from the audience, and then we're going to wrap up with the lightning round. Lawrence wants to know, how did playing ball in the gyms and street courts of Peoria prepare you for the NBA?
Oh, that was everything, honestly. You know, I tell kids, it's like drills and everything is great, but you got to test it, right? I mean, you do the homework, but then the test come and you ain't, you know, it's like it's got to transition. So I think playing for me helped me, and also you know, where you play, right, and who are you playing with? You know, not always playing with, you know, guys that you are better than. You know, for me, I had the luxury to play with, you know, some talented players growing up, and most of them, they were older than me and they were better than me, you know, but what that only did was raise my game. It raised my bar, because I wanted to be, you know, I wanted to be them, you know, I wanted to be better than them. So I had to raise my game and elevate my game. So, you know, play as much as you can, for sure.
And last audience question, being a veteran mentor during the Golden State dynasty, what kind of things did you impart on your teammates during such a roller coaster time?
Man, great question. Not too high, not too low. That's it. I mean, that really is. That's it. And just more than anything, trying to embody that, you know, on the court and off the court, as far as being a calming presence, you know, on the floor and in the locker room. You know, 82 games, you around, you know, we all adults, some guys with families, some guys, you know, young teenagers, whatever, a lot of personalities, egos. So, you know, it could be friction, you know, throughout the season. It was a lot of friction throughout my career, you know, that I've seen things that never made it to the news. But it's just, you know, it's more about, you know, just trying to keep that overall perspective, you know, and, you know, not get too high, and then not getting too down in the dumps, you know, getting depressed. You know, it's another game. We got another game, and you got to, you know, it's another day, right? It's a new opportunity.
Most definitely. Okay, we're going to head over to the lightning round, brought to you by Illinois American Water. People ask me, you know, who got the best water? Fiji, Core, because they know I'm a water drinker. I'm like, no, the best water come from Illinois. The Illinois American Water. lightning round. We're gonna get into it. So what this is I'm put a minute 50 on the clock. This is rapid fire questions and rapid fire answers. I'm gonna give you a minute 50. We're gonna see how many we can get through. You ready?
Let's hit it.
Donda or certified lover boy?
Donda.
Favorite car you ever owned?
Oh, Cadillac.
Jordans or Yeezys?
Jordans.
Favorite NBA city you ever lived in?
City I ever lived in, New York.
TV show you watch the most?
Oh, current? Oh, damn. I don't watch TV, bro. Pass.
Okay. You got 10 racks. What store you going to?
Oh, Nike.
Favorite football team?
Bears.
Cat Williams or Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart.
Favorite rapper?
Wayne.
Favorite thing about Peoria?
It's real. Friends and family.
Louis V or Buscemi?
Louis.
Bentley or Lamb?
Lamb.
Favorite movie?
Oh man, Scarface.
Nas or Jay?
Jay.
Biggest ticket item you ever caught? Can't count the crib in the car.
Ooh, boy. Biggest ticket. Education. School. Pay for school.
Drums or flats?
Drums.
Do grits take salt or sugar?
Salt.
You did. You got 3 seconds left. You did decent.
I'm in there. I had to pass on one. No, I passed on one.
Yeah, you did. You cheated a little bit.
Yeah.
You all right.
Yeah.
So in last question, what advice would you give to any athlete transitioning to the next level after the game? What's the next phase of life?
Man, I would say just again, what I said in the beginning, just, be a student of life, stay curious. They say knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge, right? I mean, we could do all the studying, we could do all the, researching that we want, but we got to take action too. So, make sure you out there, making moves and taking action, taking risks, right? Calculated risks, but apply that knowledge.
Central Illinois alum, 3-time champ, Shaun Livingston, man. Appreciate you coming on to Rap Politics, man. We're gonna talk to you.
Love, man. Appreciate you having me
Best
on.
luck in the future. Yep. Hey, man, that was Shaun Livingston. Look, NBA week got messed up earlier this week, man. Facebook, you know what I'm saying? It was tweaking, it was twacking, but it is what it is. We got in Shaun Livingston on this route. Appreciate y'all tuning in for this. And of course, we brought to you by Sherman's. Carry the best in furniture, mattresses, and appliances. And they have sponsored the Sophisticated Ratchet Art Affair going down this Saturday. You dig? Make sure y'all get y'all tickets off of Eventbrite. It's going down at Lofty, but ShermansCareers.com. You can check out their openings. And Terry Shepard, real estate consultant whose values are rooted in customer care and service. She can help you cop your next crib. Remax Traders Unlimited, where she work for, 309-361-4592. And you know, you got to throw that up there real quick, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in to Rap Politics episode 19. We got some heat for you next week, man. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. And subscribe to Peoria Journal Star. It is the news of the town. It's just where all the stuff come from. You did. Appreciate y'all tuning in again, man. We out.